Hello Sentinels, and by that I do mean the people that have ADHD. That's a conscious choice. It's something that to do with people that we tend to be ones that look after other people, that serve. My name's Gavin Readman and this is episode 65 of Drug-Free ADHD and Super Focus. And today I'm going to be talking about something that I'd spoken about in previous episodes, but I'm going to be more specific and actually talk about the consequences of not forgiving. Now that means other people and also yourself. So that's two different things. So yourself and others. Now, if you have ADHD, I get it, you'll do dumb things like, for example, I racked up 18,000 euros of expenses in 1 month and couldn't in the 4 weeks afterwards, which I had to pay them, actually get the paperwork in. I also have done daily things like walking in and out of doors 20 times because I didn't remember something, kept coming back because I forgot it. And it really annoyed me. And that type of thing does and can infringe on your life until I met a very kind person who said to me, forgive them. And I thought, forgive yourself. And also he meant forgive others too. Now, I thought, what have I got to forgive myself for? It's my own stupid fault that I'm not getting this sorted. But I was getting annoyed with myself and it was making it worse. So I repeatedly made the same mistakes because I was annoyed. It was basically shutting myself down. So if you get to the point where you're annoyed, your adrenaline starts pumping, it starts to evoke the beginnings of a flight or fight response. And that means basically your brain starts shutting down. You start getting blinkered vision and you basically get ready, you stop, your digestive system shuts down, you start getting ready to use your muscles, and basically you have the very things that you try to avoid, which is to stay aware, make conscious choices, but ones that actually benefit you, and then react or choose a reaction rather than it just happening, which is very often what happens if you have ADHD. And comment below if you think your worst case of where that's happened, where you've got angry with yourself and that has made the situation worse. And he basically caught me at a moment where I thought, well, I was confused and I thought, well, that's rubbish. In that moment, it made me think. So I have there's an acronym that I use for my daily routines, and it's RAW. And what the O in that is open-mindedness. And I always try everything once. And I thought, okay, I'll try this. And I thought, okay, and this is where these came from. It's basically 3 knots. It's a reminder of the things that I need to do. I call it a good tug, which is basically, is it good, is it useful, is it true? That's something from Socrates, but also you can apply that to your thought processes and what you're doing each day. So I thought, okay, right, I'll use this to remind myself to forgive myself. And that means that if I do something wrong, I just think, okay, is this of any use to me? And I now know it's not, because it makes it worse. And then again, there were other things where I thought I was being hard done by other people. So I was still sort of over 26. And before that, to tell you the truth, I'm going to be totally honest, there was a lot of times when you just lose time if you have ADHD. And I'm sure some of you out there can relate to that. Before my prefrontal cortex has actually completely finished growing, in quotes, I was pretty much a machine on reaction mode. I exercised a lot, etc., and some of it made things better. I at least had a purpose, which meant I knew the direction I was going in, and I went like a steam train for it. That got me across a lot of different countries and with a lot of different adventures, but that's another story. But during that time, I also, and thereafter when I started working, I had other people, they did things and I blamed them for stuff. Now, the only problem with that is it takes away your opportunity to control the situation, because if you're blaming somebody else, it's then on them to fix it. It's their problem. It's not you. It's not your fault. Well, you know what? That doesn't do, it's of no use to you. It's also of no good to you, because basically you've got to wait for them to sort out your problem. And it never bleeding happens, because those people don't care. Everybody, even family, they have got their own shit that they've got to deal with, and everybody else has too. And 99% of the time, they're not thinking of you when they're speaking, or they've said something to you or done something to you that's hurt you in some manner, shape or form, whether that's in a personal perspective or a professional perspective. So again, I tried to apply the forgiveness method. Now, this is something that major religions have, and they see it as a point of virtue. I don't. I think it's totally selfish, because if you're spending your time, energy, effort and thoughts, and this is the thing for people with ADHD, your thoughts, your things where you're talking about self-regulation, wasting them on somebody else, blaming them for something else that happened to you, it's of no use to you. It's no good to you. And to tell you the truth, although you may think it's true, and that may be the case, the other two outweigh it, because you spend your time hating that other person or not liking the situation and wanting them to fix it, means you're missing the opportunities in the moment to be with the person you love, to listen to a family member, to fix the things maybe you've done wrong, to listen to the things the people actually are trying to help you, to basically get on with your life. You're wasting your time on somebody else who doesn't care and probably never will. So why do that? And that's why I listened to the gentleman I was talking about. He happened to be a monk, as it turned out. Well, not a monk, a priest. An amazing gentleman that I met when I was reasonably young, and he taught me some amazing things, which I'll probably talk about later on in one of these episodes. But he had showed me that you can change, and you can change within a matter of minutes or hours, depending on how you do it. And a lot of that had to do with the methods that I actually apply to my daily life these days, which is the small steps of proving to myself that I can actually do something to get something fixed, to get something that I've planned in the future into my present day life. And that is those things that I've been talking about a few days ago, the 3 points, the 3 things. And when you do that, it builds your confidence. You see it can actually change. Once you've seen it, it's possible to change, and it is changing, then it becomes your dopamine hit. Instead of having something that's negative, like perhaps the notifications that you're going to have different apps. I've turned all of those off, by the way. Even my telephone, it basically goes to voicemail before 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So every notification's turned off, apart from one single app, which is the one I use to track those tasks. And those are the only notifications that I see. And then obviously for the channel itself, so if somebody likes, I'll respond back to them, that type of thing. So it's something that is positive, or is a dopamine hit for the thing I'm trying to do. Okay? So with that, I will say have a plan, be fun, foster wisdom wherever you see it, and as always, have a good morning, a good afternoon, or a good evening. And I wish you the best of luck, and I hope that some of this is helping. If it is, please like the channel, press the like button, please subscribe if you're on YouTube, and otherwise I will see you again tomorrow, or possibly later today if I've got something that may be relevant to my Saturday. By the way, this is one of my days off. It's part of the routine that I do. That's something that's built into the major religions. A lot of them have one day off where you do nothing. The only reason I'm doing this is because this is actually not work for me. It's something that I love doing, and that's why I'm doing it on my day off, where I do nothing else apart from nothing. And I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.